reason why I'm going to stop making videos is communication. I cannot communicate my message without being in martial art form. People do not truly know how to look inside somebody and see their spirit. Certainly not over the internet. Through technology, a lot is lost in translation. Then of course they've drugged me. I've lost maybe 20 pounds of muscle, and it's affected my face. The dehydration made it so that the chemicals they're drugging me with caused my face to start to be rough in a certain way that is more like a bum or a drug addict. So they're trying to make me look gay, crazy, like a crackhead or something. And anything that is stigmatized in society, poor, black, and undesirable, except for, the kind of upper middle class family son version of it. So I can go on and on about who I am, who my parents are. These are things that should automatically make you take me seriously and believe what I'm saying. Okay, it's like I go as far as to say they had more reason to sabotage me than they did Martin Luther King. Okay, when you really, really think about it, who is King? He is somebody who pushes a Western philosophy. He doesn't challenge the church. Okay, he doesn't challenge their martial arts system. He doesn't challenge Western culture at its core. He speaks in a way that makes some Western speakers, in terms of conceptions of intelligence, look better than he does. Okay. This video is also about the spectrum. So I'll leave you with the spectrum to help you understand why my videos must stop now because of the image. I don't feel that people truly hear me out, or we would see people from their side defecting. We would see women in the streets having heard through the grapevine and otherwise what's going on, starting to submit to me. We see people making emotional pleas to the church, but not to me. Okay, so obviously they missed the point. If you're going to a bunch of pedophiles in a church with a long history of pedophilia, with hundreds of cases of pedophilia at any given moment, damn near, if not that, okay, instead of the top martial artist, the soul brother of all soul brothers, obviously, you're out of touch with reality. How could you not be? It's like you go to some rich white businessman who's 100% European, we'll say, so you can have some kind of powwow with the Native Americans, and you expect him to lead it as the chief. Makes no sense. Other races trying to be martial artists is like a guy who's pure white, an inbred white guy, claiming to be a Native American chief or something. It isn't that. Okay, you don't go to them for what you need to come to me for, and that is religion. That is to connect to God. That is spiritual power, and for it to be conveyed to you. Okay, and that is martial arts. Okay, so if you want to learn how to, fit into corrupt Western culture and blood money, and the Native American genocide to benefit from that, you want to learn how to benefit from that. You want to learn how to benefit from slavery and railroading the Chinese and so on, the internment camps and everything America has done wrong. You want to learn how to benefit from that. Go take American martial arts. Go take mixed martial arts. Go to their churches. Okay, you're praying to the devil. How could you not see that? These are the guys who benefit from that, and they don't even have the basic decency to know that it is not their place to be leading people spiritually and through martial arts and anything to do with discipline and morality. How can you be the most crooked people call devils, for better or worse, and then turn around and say, you need to come to me to translate the Bible for you, for instance, or to lead you morally or otherwise, to submit yourself to their culture and the accompanying reproductive cycle. Obviously, that's wrong. To even have to point these things out, right? They're out of touch. I make the example quite often. It's kind of like when you go through the jungle and you see a lion, do you need to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to need somebody to tell me that you're a lion. I'm going to need you to growl or something. It's a lion. And so it is with a good man. Should we not be more naturally inclined to be able to effectively read people than animals that we hardly come across? Why or why not? After hundreds of thousands of years of human interaction, how can people not look inside somebody and see that they're a good person? How can women pass me by on the street and say, hey, I shouldn't let this guy pass me by? Okay, everyone else is sucking a conformist dick. This guy's a hero. You know, I'm basically playing with little kids when I have sex with them, and I'm making love when I make love to this guy. How could they not see this? There's a sexual component, right? A love component, a sexual component, a spiritual component, a moral component, a martial arts physique component that I've had for many, many years, leading up to about the last year and a half when they intensely sabotaged me. Okay? There's a component of determination, a dedication. There's things that you associate with martial arts. When you want to learn how to, you know, have sex, when you want to marry somebody who is in the repetition of complicity with evil, you go for someone with a business suit or something. You go for somebody that works for a corporation, for a drug dealer, right? These guys are in the repetition of evil and poisoning the population in more ways than one. How could anyone miss this? What, are we kids that we miss this? Isn't that part of the difference between a child and an adult? Your ability to perceive, your ability to read someone, to ascertain, to deduce. Am I wrong for expecting women to have this basic skill? We are supposed to, from there, start to interact on a more high, on a higher level, and a more refined level. You know, the other drug in me, they're fuming, and so on and so forth. For the same reason, I expect people to look at my videos and be able to tell when I'm being sabotaged and when I'm not. Okay? And to hear the truth regardless, because even when I'm sabotaged, I'm telling the truth in a more effective manner than anybody else you'll find anywhere. You know, when the lion has a sore throat, he still sounds more like a lion than a kitten with big balls or something. I mean, come on. How could anyone not see it that way? So when I see women these days, I'm disgusted. I'm like, yeah, you're a stupid harlot. You're dumb. You're a shit talking prostitute. Go ahead and talk shit with your old man's penis breath. You know why should I be moved? Why should the top martial artists be moved in the slightest when some cocky harlot has something smart to say, or when some jealous motherfucker is trying to tell them what to do? Why should I be moved? You know, it's just a matter of, do I want to die now or later? You know, how much I resist society. It's not a matter of being moved or being put in my place. You can't put me in a... You're a kitten. What are you talking about here? If a kitten starts meowing hell loud and a lion decides not to kill him, it's because he decided not to kill him, not because he's scared. Do I really have to explain this to you people? Come on. Think. How much more the leopard, which is the ideal martial arts animal. And of course, that leads us to, you know, the martial arts animal foundation. That leads us to the falcon with the leopard qualities, or Horus, son of Ra. Anyway, so when I look at this thing, another way to look at it is the spectrum. The highest form of good is intense good. Right? This kind of, hi guys, you know, let's all shake hands and hug each other. That's not the highest form of good. How could the hippie be the highest form of good? Why? What is the difference between Martin Luther King and the hippie? Martin Luther King starts getting all passionate and says, my eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. I can't even do it now because they're drugging me. But you can still see me trying to fight that. You can see the spirit trying to break free. You know, when you see a spirit trying to break free, you got to ask yourself who, what, when, where, how, why. My goodness. Why should I have to explain this to someone? It's like I got to explain to you when a motherfucking King Kong's trying to break out of a cage, and you have a good look at him and what's going on, and I have to explain to you that's King Kong trying to break out of a cage? How much less should I have to explain to you that this is the Spirit of God trying to break out of fucking sabotage, and that this is hell? When you're living in hell, and you need me to bring up the Norse deity, and Pluto, and Dispater, and Orcus, and Hades? I mean, come on. Sad, right? Or should I have to bring up the fact that someone as passionate as me, who women are insulting in various ways, like she doesn't have to say a word. An attractive woman doesn't have to say a word to deeply insult me. All she has to do is not be completely receptive. You understand me? That's like everyone with sense bows down to the king and is ready to follow orders. And you stand up like, acting like a bitch. Okay? It's an insult. I am the king. I am Pharaoh. Everyone is supposed to follow my orders. They come from God. Why wouldn't you? Imagine you have a message to bring to God, from God to mankind, acting like little kids on top of that. In the most corrupt country in the world, on top of that. Okay? And they do not listen to you. And women want to date motherfuckers acting like bitches instead of you. Consider the spectrum. Consider the contrast in the con. Who doesn't see through the con? And this is a society where people go on and on. You were stupid. You paid an extra 50 cents for that. Oh my gosh, you should have went to here, there. You're stupid. Right? They say bitch shit like that all the time. You have no idea how frustrating it is dealing with children who are supposed to be adults. All right. And of course, they'll bring up shit like, oh, you're a man-child. You all started acting like bitches. Didn't allow me my rightful place, would have made me a multi-billionaire, if not a trillionaire. Okay? Because I'd be in fucking charge. There'd be nothing out of my grasp. Nothing. I'm the spiritual leader, the top martial artist, the head of all, the king of kings. What is out of my grasp? And then you're going to turn around and say, well, you can't provide for me. I provide you the bread from God. You settle for the crumbs from satanic pussies. And you suck their dicks for it. What the fuck? Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Ka being the Spirit of God. Anyway, so they talk about people who are too good. She's too good for you. I'm the messenger of God, the top martial artist. No one is too good for me. They're too evil for me. They're too much of a conformist to corporate evil. But they couldn't be too good. Why do we use these words? Because we know deep in our souls that too good is how good of a person you are. It is not the fucking malevolent. Malevolent is too good for you because she's important. Then shut the fuck up. You know, it is what Snow White is trying to refer to. Receptivity, right? Receptivity to good. Good people are receptive to good people, not evil people. And they know that if they start thinking in terms of, well, they're going to hurt my family now if I do this, that they have enslaved their family to generations of evil. They have to put their feet down in intense righteousness and be ready to die with their entire family if necessary. Anyone who's not killed as a result of their family being killed is fucking evil. Think about it. We're at that time. We're in the surveillance age, technology age, the information age times 10. Information in evil formation, right? The public information service, right? They're taking a piss on you. PIS, public information service, right? They're taking a piss on your face, and you think it's holy water. So anyway, when we look at the spectrum, right? Everybody is on the wrong side of the line but me. Right? The spectrum must be in the Holy Spirit. The Spirit is good. Everything else is evil. Evil is the absence of good. And then from there, it is how far you go, how much you organize, like scientific racists or something, how organized you are when it comes to being evil. So again, even as I make this video, there's a lot of American to it that isn't me. I'm somebody who reached out, intensely for my African roots. I started buying all these books and digging up these books and so on and so forth. Okay, I bought multiple copies. You think the guy who bought multiple copies of these books, who goes on and on about African culture, wants to sound like an American? Obviously, they're interfering in ways that a lot of people wouldn't admit. Most people, I'd imagine, would believe, especially coming from me, but they wouldn't admit. All right. There's some other stuff I wanted to go over, but who fucking cares at the end of the day? Like I said, I can't communicate it to you. These aren't people who see spirit. They see the footprint. Their Bigfoot could be walking around in their face, right? All they see is a footprint. Oh, there's a footprint, right? That's like what they see here. If they don't see the energy that comes as a result of the spirit coming into the body, right? And they don't see the flesh take a certain form, then they don't understand that I come from God. I've been trying to complain about this for a long time, and I've come to the conclusion that that's how it is. So when we look at, you look at it, right? At the highest level of evil is the Luciferian, rich, image-heavy guy using psychology. The people close to him. You have the priests, the religious people, the martial arts, the other martial artists. These are all very evil because they're blocking you from these paths that are supposed to lead you to me, and they're misleading you. Right? They're not submitting their sisters and their daughters. Well, I'm out of fucking time.